I got peach brandy. I got
We are live.
Tide.
Welcome to Still Talking Uncut. We were live for 5 seconds, and Sean's a piece of shit and didn't tell nobody.
Oh,
That's
well.
normal.
That's what I do.
But welcome to America and Moonshine. I'm your host, Big Easy, joined by my co-host, Mr. Master Distiller Sean Rigsby in the house. We getting feedback from somebody. Joined by Matt LeMasters, Age Before Beauty. And then the other guests and the special guest host. Like, we're just gonna shoot the shit this episode. Blame Sean, he didn't get us a quality guest, so he asked the Masters to fill in.
I made it this time.
And yeah, that's true. That's true.
Welcome to the show, Uncle Joey.
What's up? Hey, you might want to change my name to Uncle Fester temporarily. I had a serious muff diving accident.
You got a harpy?
Well, we can't really talk about it on the air, but let's just say it was a serious muff diving accident. Both parties are okay, but the tooth gonna have to be replaced. So you got to deal with that until I get this motherfucker put back in.
Hey, you'll have that.
Yeah, I'm just glad everybody was okay.
That's all that matters. Did you have a good time?
Always.
Shit, somebody did.
That's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? But you know how we like to start the show? We'll Age Before Beauty. The Masters, what you drinking on?
Have no idea. It was in the fridge. I'm assuming it's cheesecake. It's got a C on the lid.
We're getting feedback from somebody.
That sure wouldn't be corn.
Oh, no. No, it's flavored. It's yours truly.
What'd you put in it?
You want me to give my secrets?
Well, yeah, I want to know, like, what flavor is it anyways? Like, it's this. Like,
cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
Right. It's his own cheesecake. There we go.
The wife likes it. That's all that matters.
Still getting feedback from your Uncle Joey.
Is it me?
Yeah, it's got to be you. But Sean,
Yo,
what you drinking on? Yeah, see, it went away now. It's got to be the headphones. Yeah, see, we can't hear you now.
I used them before, though. I don't get it.
Oh my God. Okay, so I'm drinking. You guys are dicks. I'm just gonna let you know that right now.
Sean's an asshole.
No, I'm talking about you three. You two mainly. Mark and Digger's apple rye again.
Nice.
What the hell did I do?
Not you,
I got one of
two.
those too. Those are good.
What you sipping on over, Uncle Joey?
Well, under this beautiful Redskins beer sweater, I have a Pacifico. I don't drink a lot of beers, but Uncle Joey highly recommends if you like. And I like Budweiser or Coors, but this Pacifico goes down nice. It must be a Mexican style beer.
This ain't Mexican style beer. If you like Modelo.
Yes,
that.
I do like a Modelo too. And I got a couple peach brandies over here. I got Phil's, and then I got my man Ian over here. Was one of the very first times I ever saw Moonshine ran. He invited us down, and we may have ran some peach brandy.
We don't know who Ian is.
Yeah, I don't know who that guy is.
He's a little shady.
Is that party juice?
That's party juice, baby.
My man.
It's like
I almost did that.
And I have no choice. It's just sitting here. I keep shit on deck. You can pull out whatever. Like, we could pull out some High Rock. I won't drink that shit though. I can't. I just can't.
It'd go good in a thumper though.
I don't even know if I would do that. I don't think I could disgrace my thumper.
Is that High Rock? Is that vodka?
Yeah.
Never had it.
It's endorsed by Dale Jr. It's got to be good shit.
We don't know what you're doing. We're just shooting shots, man. You know, we're just shooting shots, having a good time.
You guys are dicks, man.
You are, man.
What? What do we do now?
Anyways,
Matt. You're fucking.
all right. So
assholes.
I don't know if anybody's heard, but I guess old Sean might be squaring up with old Mr. Matt Brown.
Moonshiner Matt Brown.
Oh, my bad, Mr.
The
Moonshine.
one, the only Moonshiner Matt Brown.
Well,
Just so you know.
at least this time he could take second place instead of third.
No, he got. Oh man,
I'm
No,
just
he-
busting your balls. Love you, Matt Brown. Big
Lord.
Sturge in the house, baby. How you doing?
Uh-oh.
How you doing? Welcome to the show. Double knockout, $5. I know it better not be no Tyson fucking Jake Paul shit, or I'm gonna be upset. So, no, I showed respect. I removed Uncle Joey, so I need a peanut.
peanut. Oh, okay. Duh.
Shut up, Sean. Anyways,
So what are we talking about tonight, fellas?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
Shit, I don't know. I don't care.
All right. Let's see.
Running
Anybody
liquor?
comments? I got a. This is definitely a slap together show. Just the bullshit.
Yeah,
And
throw
this
some comments in there, some questions.
Some ball busting. So, well, shit. Let's talk about converting corn because I learned something new not too long ago that I thought was cool as shit. So,
Hold on. Looks like we got a another fight brewing up here.
Oh, yeah?
It looks like Dylan and Uncle Joey. Dan Gray.
That's about the age gap between Tyson and Jake Paul. You know what I'm saying? Might as well get our own. But
You got to have preliminary fights.
anyway, Matt, when you convert your corn, how do you do it?
Normally,
to
I
learn
use
here.
the high temp amylase. I like using the alpha and the beta.
Still getting feedback. So when you do it, do you gelatize your grain first before you put your high temp amylase in?
Yep.
So I had learned that if you don't want to gelatize your corn and you just want to, you don't have to worry about scorching it because a lot of people when they're gelatizing their corn are rowing that boat on that fire, and a lot of times they'll scorch their corn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you like to use that high temp amylase. So
Yeah.
I learned from Sean way back when on how to steep your grain, where you take your boiling water and you dump it on there and you let it sit until it gelatizes. And then you come back in and you can add your barley at your 150 degrees. Or if you're using high temp amylase, you can dump it in pretty much whenever.
Yeah.
I learned from a fella that you can take that high temp amylase and dump it in as soon as you dump your boiling water on top of your corn. Like you can never dump it in too early, which I thought was really cool. Like
That's pretty much what I do. I'll dump it into a cooler.
cooler.
Yeah, put the corn in the cooler, dump the boiling water on.
Yeah.
and
All at the same time.
throw the amylase in right then.
And I didn't know you could use it like that. I thought you had to wait for it to be down to a certain temp, even though it's high temp, or you had to wait for your corn to gelatize before you could put it in. Whereas instead, you put it in right at the beginning.
That's how I've done it.
And like Tyler says, he puts it in right at the beginning, and it converts as it gelatizes as it goes, and that's one thing that helps it convert so well.
I lucked out and got a hold of some of that stuff a few years ago, and I knew nothing about it, and that's what I tried first, and it worked. I didn't know if I was doing it right the first time, but it worked.
Oh, they said the same thing.
I think it's a little more successful at this than the other.
So,
Well,
so
by
I'm
the
a
fifth-
learner
by the
here.
fifth
So
marriage,
what
you got
normally would
practice.
you have? What normally would you have to wait till the temperature got brought down to?
So like normally, you'll gellatize your corn, which you have to cook your grain at like 190 degrees for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Terrible with numbers. And then you let it cool down. Usually people add in their barley around 150, 155 range. But you have to hit that, you have to hit those numbers really close.
Really close.
And that's what
So you might be sitting out there hour or two waiting.
Right.
Oh,
Wait for
yeah.
that temp where
Out,
it
yeah,
gets too
it's
low.
below,
You got to raise
you're
it back
screwed.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, and
And,
then chance of scorching and
see, and I know a lot of beginners when they're rowing that boat to gelatize that corn, they're always worried about scorching a lot, and it happens. Whether you rig up a mixer to mix it for you, it's you got flame, man. It don't matter that it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen, even for your seasoned guys. So to make it simpler, I've seen a lot of people, they'll use the powdered amylase. And that stuff is hit or miss. Like everybody I know that uses powder, most people have terrible problems with powder. So I always say, hey man, don't use the powdered amylase.
That's for sure.
It is sketchy. It's hard to do. Like if you're going to do it, really you should learn how to use barley. It's all part of the process. Moving forward, you're going to use your barley to convert your starches after you gelatize your corn.
Or just any malted grain works.
Yep. It doesn't just have to be malted.
You're saying that you can make alcohol without using sugar?
Well, yeah.
What?
You have to create sugars. Yeah, you have to create sugar.
Yeah.
You can take there we go.
190 for 45.
And I get people that get that chocolate malt. I'm not a fan of chocolate malt. It tastes like coffee to me. But like you said, anything that's got diacetic powder, you can convert with, and you gotta know your temps. I know but for beginners, it definitely helps. It definitely helps learn about converting and things like that. Just to be able to because you got a lot more leeway when you're using your enzymes. And you have to add your glucose at a certain temp. That's one thing. Just like you got to wait for your barley, you got to wait for it to get down to a certain temp. So I just thought it was, I never thought of dumping it all in at the beginning and letting it do its thing. It's, I'm a fruit feller, not a fruity feller, but I'm a fruit feller, man. I like my.
Stepping back on that, huh?
I had to catch it before you did. I gave you ample time, but you didn't hit it. So.
He was chomping at the bit on that one.
It's just like anything else, man. No matter where you're at, no matter who you are, how long you've been in doing something, there's always something to learn, man. And it's always great to be open-minded and ready to accept new knowledge because you'll never know it all. And the moment you do, you won't. And the person, the smartest person will tell you that, hey, I'll never know everything, and that's how you learn more. So
that's what I was about to say. If you know everything, you ain't learning anything.
Yep. And if nothing else, you can always learn what not to do.
Right.
Yeah,
which is what I've taught a lot of people.
Been there. I've learned a lot. Oh yeah, I'm always like, Sean, how do you do this? And then I do it the exact opposite way because I know whatever way he did, it's wrong. That's how we learn. We learn from each other. Or I'll be like, do it like this, and he won't, and then he'll be like, oh damn, I should have done it like that. Like, oh, you're good. Somebody's got to know. Like, we got to know.
I think the banana brandy story, the banana mash. I think that's the best story.
The banana mash.
Didn't you say that'd be yours everywhere?
Oh yeah, in my closet, fucking years ago.
Yeah.
In one of them fucking carboys, man. The
air
lock got clogged.
I figured as much time as you spend in the closet, you'd have noticed it.
Here, I'll be back. Hold on. Hold on.
No wonder he had bananas in the closet. Beat you that one, huh? But no, dude, it's something about bananas, bro. Like everybody has a deal. You know what I'm saying? Like you mess with bananas, it's gonna spray you in the face, one way or another.
Looking good, looking good.
I'm not getting up.
I
So
figure we butt hurt long enough.
hey, same thing with me, dude. Like first time we did bananas, fucking Philbilly didn't take the cap off the jug, man, and it was swelling, and I didn't know no better. You know, I was new. I didn't know nothing about it. You know, like we're learning how to ferment fruit and shit. Dude, I just cracked it a little bit because, like, I'll just let the pressure out and, like, you know, kind of like a radiator cap on your car. You think that you'll just let a little bit of pressure out real slowly. Nah, I don't do that. I'm gonna fucking force it out, blows the top off, fucking bananas everywhere. But I was outside. You know what I'm saying? So
let
it
me
wasn't
ask
like
you
in
this.
Sean's closet.
I know you guys talk about liking brandies, but what is the worst fruit to run but makes the best brandy? You know what I mean? Like what you're like, fuck, I hate running it, but man, that shit is good. Is it banana?
You know, like
Is there a bad brandy to run?
Yeah, it's fruit. Like don't get me wrong. You know, like if you don't do strawberry right, it will be fiery. If you don't do blackberry right, it'll be real medicinal.
Yeah.
I would say blackberry. You have to, you know, in my experience, you have to baby it a little bit more, and you got to do some things to it to try to keep the heat out of it, or I'm sorry, to keep the medicinal out of it. Like I know Matt. He does a strawberry, and he keeps the heat out of his strawberry, which. You know, I just tell him he puts Tarani in it afterwards.
No,
so.
he puts the fucking he leaves
flavors.
the heat out of it because he runs it 14 fucking times.
Well,
if it works,
and then a little bit of dash, huh? You're right. Yeah, Mr. Bishop is correct, man. It's peaches. It's pitting them damn peaches, man. Like bananas are easy. You put them in the freezer, you pull them out, let them sit on the table for an hour, and then you could just squeeze them out like a tube of toothpaste.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, we know what's on Sean's mind tonight. He been single too long. But yeah, I would say peaches, man. Taking the pits out are terrible. Like when it comes to apples, I'm leaving the seeds in. I don't care. I'm not coring them.
The seeds don't matter with the apples.
Yeah, you know, that's how I did it in the old days. That's how I did it traditionally.
Right.
Yeah, there's not enough cyanide.
Are there some fruits that you got to make sure, like what you say, raspberries or whatever, you got to make sure the seeds are out?
Well, no, I mean, you're not, how you getting those seeds out of that?
Oh, you
know
can't
what I'm
get them
I was
out.
gonna say, you ain't getting them out.
You could juice it and all that, but, you're losing. I think anytime you just juice something, you're losing so much from your pulp and your fruit that I like. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it helps flavor carry through when you have that pulp in there.
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying? Not saying like you don't. If I ain't got 50 gallons of apple cider, I won't gladly put some yeast in or just leave the top off and let it do its thing. But when it comes down to it, I'm leaving everything I can in there. But like he said, man, peaches, you got to get that pit out, and if you get some that aren't all the way ripe, oh, dude, they're such a nightmare. And then you get some, you're trying to peel them, and then half of it sticking to the pit, dude. It's peaches, but damn, is it worth it?
Yes, it is.
And so you buy that's why you buy canned peaches, and all you gotta do is open the top and dump it in there.
Yeah, I mean it's all about convenience at the end of the day. I mean it still makes good liquor.
Oh
and,
yeah,
with that heavy syrup in there too.
Man, look, I got this in one of them fancy glasses. And man, this thing with bourbon and they talk about legs on a glass. Just rolling this around, man, this has got legs on it. I mean, this has got some damn good flavor. You can be fancy with this brandy. I mean, this has got killer nose on it. I mean, this is over a year old. Been sitting on my refrigerator. I got about half a bottle left, and it's delicious. I mean, the flavor on this is amazing. That was, like I said, my first time watching any kind of brandy being made, and it was pretty cool. It was impressive, and the product is delicious.
So I got a question for you guys. Just your opinion. So I did a raspberry last year, but I'd actually got my hands on gallon cans of raspberry preserves. Is what I used. Would you still consider that a brandy?
Well, I mean,
I did. That's what I called it. But
does the preserves have high fructose corn syrup in it or not, or just sugar?
Who reads the label?
Well, I'm just
Other
saying.
than raspberry preserves, put in the barrel and go, dude.
Hey, you're asking questions that you don't have the you know. I'm saying I can't answer. You ain't got my answers. Come on now. Hey, it's a brandy. I've seen somebody make a corn liquor and dump strawberry shit in it and call it a strawberry brandy. So, old Tyler was talking about doing watermelons, and the watermelons can be a nightmare. It says he ate so much he got a bellyache.
How hard is it to get the flavor through on watermelon?
It's
Because a watermelon's a light flavor, anyways.
It's super light. You would almost have to, infuse thumper, extract, just anything flavorish.
Tyler, do you have good luck getting flavor through, or because I wanted to try it, but I don't want to waste my time because I don't think I could pull the flavor through.
So when we did a watermelon wine.
Hold on, let me stop you real quick. Matt said he don't want to waste his time, but he'll waste it running 6 fucking times in a row.
Damn,
I knew
Hey,
that was
shots fired.
But you complimented it, buddy.
Yeah, it sure wasn't hot. That's for sure.
But when I did my pumpkins, I just cut about a 2-inch off the top, and I took an immersion blender and jammed it down inside and just liquefied the innards instead of trying to cut it up and mash it.
Cool.
Get you an immersion blender on watermelons. You'll be glad you did. It'll save you a lot of time.
Yeah, you're
But
still late again on that one.
I don't want none. So
I've got a jar of watermelon that I got from somebody at Farm to Bottle, Mr. Bennett, and it's got good smell, but they don't get a lot of watermelon carryover. It's real light. I mean, there ain't a whole lot there. So I get what you guys are saying with that.
That's exactly what I'd expect.
It smells good. The jar smells good, but when you drink it, it's not a bad drink of liquor by any means, but it's just not very watermelon carried over.
put it on ice and then see what you think about it.
Maybe I'll stick it in the freezer.
Sometimes, man, them faint fruits, they come through on ice, separates them oils for you, and sometimes it's the only way to bring that fruit to the front.
I'll try that. I might do that here after we get off the pod here.
So, old Gordon Shiner says that when he ferments his pumpkins, they turn into slime. See, my question for you, Gordon, is: are you converting the starches in your pumpkins? Because I know a lot of people make the mistakes of just using the pumpkins as flavor, and they don't go and convert the starches in those pumpkins. Pumpkins are just like corn; they got good starches. You can convert them. So,
have any of you ever used pumpkins?
That's a nasty nightmare. I'm good.
What was cleaning the mat, straining the mash?
It's just I'm saying, like he was like old Gordon said, dude. They liquefy. It's like a liquidy, strainy, mushy. It's a nightmare to strain, and
That good stuff.
And I attempted a pumpkin wine once and was like, nope. It's just not my deal. Like, now I did find this old recipe in this book, man. It was how to make a Prohibition style pumpkin gin at home. And like it's not gin, but what it is you take a pumpkin, you cut the top off, you pack it with sugar, and then you put the lid back on it and you let it sit for 30 days and you seal it with wax and shit. And you let it sit for 30 days and just ferment. So I'm 24 days in right now. So I got 6 days left until I pull this pumpkin out and pop it open.
You actually done that?
You got it going right now?
It's going on right now. It's sitting in my living room.
I bet your old lady loves that.
That's brave.
It's inside a tote, and I told her that it was old clothes and I'm donating to Goodwill. And it ain't had no problems for 24 days. Y'all don't jinx this shit. And so
Until you lift that lid.
Oh, I'm gonna take it outside. I'm gonna lift it. But dude, I checked on it halfway through, and it hadn't rotten or anything like that. So I'm just like, I'm wondering how it's going to come out, and and I'm like, it's not a gin. That's what I've heard, and I'm like, well, I know it's not a gin, but back in the old days, in the days of bathtub gin, they would just take any fucking alcohol they could, throw a bunch of flavors in it and make a gin. So anything high proof that was above wine, I'd imagine they called a gin. So,
Damn it, Matt Brown, I'm insulted.
yeah, I'm insulted, Matt Brown. Not all of us can be Greek gods chiseled from stone.
No, I know that's right. I'm over here heavy. I look like a fucking
Uncle Joey over here looking like a hitman.
I know.
I mean, if we got to do it, we got to do it, man.
That's the dude that shot the CEO right there.
Oh yeah, that shit's crazy, man.
Damn, we found him. Look at him, glasses and everything. Put your hoodie up, Uncle Joey.
Hey, I just wanted to be able to read these comments. I'm sure I missed a few.
How the hell did you get from New York to here?
I thought he was looking gangster. You're just trying to read.
Yeah.
You know what, that old age kicks in. So
Man, old age and never mind.
It hasn't exploded yet.
My eyes are a little low this evening.
So it hasn't exploded yet. It's still sitting there. I did watch a video. A fella put out a video, and like I said, TikTok listens, and so they pop up videos of what you're talking about or what you're searching up. And he did it, but he cut the side out, and it rotted on him real fast. And if you know anything about pumpkins, man, you cut the sides, they rot really fast. Yeah. So
the only thing pumpkins are good for is throwing in the woods and baiting deer.
Pumpkins stink too, boy.
You'd still miss it.
Hey, I got lucky once.
Pain in the ass to deal with. It's a Wesley. Was it the straining? Was it the straining that you was the biggest ass when it came to him? Because and that's the deal with fruit, man. Straining's a nightmare with fruit. That's why a lot of these big distilleries, Jacket Stills, they ain't got strain. Us little home fellers, we're straining. We're straining.
Yeah. Well, we start straining and then say, fuck it.
That's right. I use a bucket with a bunch of holes drilled in it, and I just dump my slop in it, hang it over, let it sit over top of a vessel, and I'll see you tomorrow. And then
or next year.
Hey, so hey, y'all came to my party like, dude, what is that clear stuff? And I'm like, that's peach wine. I'm like, are you serious? Like, yeah, it's been there for about a year and a half. And then I turned that shit into brandy, and that's what I handed out at Farm to Bottle and Beattyville and all that was that. You know. And
then there was that other jar at your birthday party.
Which one? Oh, dude. So at my party, so I did a video to where I talked about closed fermentation and open air fermentation. And the jar from the open air fermentation, it was blackberry wine. And it grew it grew a soul. Like it was its own person. Like it was its own living organism. Like they had a little town and shit. They elected me mayor. And
there was a village,
And so we're at the party, right? And they're just looking through because I got a bar of stuff that has been donated to me or whatever. And first they seen they saw my hobo shine where I made mouthwash moonshine. And so they all had to try that. And I'm like, y'all ain't gonna like it. It's gonna be like drinking mouthwash still.
I could not get that taste out of my mouth, man. I was like, oh.
And it was freshened you up though. You know what I'm saying?
I had fresh breath, fresh minty breath.
It was 120 proof mouthwash. It was
120
awesome.
Proof mouthwash.
And then they tried some other things. And I think they found my blueberry cobbler I was working on last year. And everybody's like, I want that recipe. And I'm like, man, now I got to do a video.
Yeah.
And then they found this jar sitting there, and it just had shit growing. I'm like, what is that? And I'm like, y'all remember the open air?
Thick, man. It was every bit of that thick.
It's this moldy, nasty shit growing on top. And I'm like, y'all remember the open air closed fermentation video? And I'm like, yep. I'm like, that's the jar. I didn't dump it out. I'm seeing what I could grow in that. You know what I'm saying?
When did you make that?
I had to be early in the summer when blackberries were on super sale. So every now and then Myers will have stuff on sale. Like right now they got potatoes, 5 pounds for $1. I ain't doing no potatoes. That's terrible. And
is that bad too?
Yeah.
They're hard to work with, but actually it comes out good.
It's the straining. It's just a strain,
Yeah.
man. They're a nightmare to strain. And just like anything else, like that's probably one reason why when they asked Sean to do vodka, he was like, okay, but he didn't use potatoes because he knows
no.
what's up.
Nope. I done a wheat due to Mr. Bishop. Give me that advice. Well, he said wheat makes a good vodka, that white wheat or whatever. So I was like, well, I'm not going to go with white. Or wait, sorry, he said red wheat makes a good vodka. But I decided to go with white instead of red. Not real sure why, but
Could have been all you could get. Sometimes that red's hard to get around here.
Because you
Right.
don't listen. I've heard that time and time again. You
We
don't.
already know that. Hell,
but had I listened, I might wound up in Matt Brown's spot.
damn.
Oh,
He's
If you
giving
know
him
what I'm
shit.
saying. If you know what I'm saying.
But the white wheat is real easy to get around here. The red can be a little difficult to get. Like you got to go to the brew store and pay top dollar for it. It's hard to get it from, where you get all your other main grains and all that. So
You may ever made vodka?
but, yeah, I mean, you ready to turn anything into vodka? You running enough,
Right.
Matt,
I'm
the
saying, like,
Masters?
your
Yep.
first run, would you
You
ever
just gotta
intend
keep
to make
running.
vodka?
No, I wouldn't do
stack
it.
the plates
I
and
mean,
run the shit out of it.
yeah, realistically, dude, if you just got a little pot still, you can do a sugar wash and you can run it several times, but it's a lot of work. If you want a neutral, then go ahead and get you some jars,
Yeah.
or get you some plates. I recommend jars; they're a lot easier to work with.
Yeah.
You think? Because
Yeah.
the one thing with plates, though, man, once you get them on there, they don't leak generally. You know what I mean?
I ain't never
Sometimes
had a jar
jars-
leak.
I've had plates leak.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're using the motherfucker, so there's that too.
6 to 1, half dozen to another. Jars are more visual. You can see better with a jar.
So are there plates in that tower that? Never mind.
So that's because we're jealous. You can see your wang and we can't without a mirror. That's the
Yes,
hidden
Uncle
secret.
Joey.
Matt.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the barrel, the one that's on the barrel down at.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are plates.
Yeah. Those are almost like the ones I've got.
Yeah.
So
And they're cool. I mean, to me, they're a lot more work. They're a lot more work to take care of it.
Here. So the more plates, the higher the proof, or does it matter how many plates? Does it?
Well, yeah, essentially, but you gotta have plates to have work, and that we ain't got right now. So there's that. But that's another story. For another
that's
time.
another story.
You pretty much need a deflag on top of them to make them work right. Where you throw jars on, you're done. They're simpler.
And even still, like you're not gonna pull 190 off of just a basic mash on your first run,
right?
Not saying you can't come out at 190, but
You
for the
might,
most part,
you might start
do 2
pulling
runs.
some heads at that high, but it's going to drop off quick.
And a lot of times you'll see they'll have something they'll preload it with high proof just to hit that 190 to make sure they're at that mark. And it's where you only have to come off at 190, and then anything after that, it's still cool. But you got to be coming off at 190. So, what did the one feller at the distillery? He runs just a pot thumper worm. He's like, man, I just load my thumper with high proof and make sure I come off at 190, and then I'm good. So, I mean, there's definitely loopholes and things around that. But
so when he says he loads his thumper with high proof, how high? You mean like?
He probably puts 190.
Puts 190 in there.
That's what I do.
I mean, just curious. I mean, that's what you put in it. All right.
I mean, but for me, like, I'm not here to make vodka. My batches are small, so I'm looking for quality over quantity, and I want flavor, and I want you to enjoy it. If I want vodka, I'll go buy it from the store, a fucking gallon for $6.
Yeah, and just for the newbies out there, anybody that's fairly new, Matt Brown included, don't put 190 in your thumper.
No,
you don't.
Absolutely not.
No.
I put 100 at the most.
The best I've ever made actually come off my still at 120.
I tell you,
you can just drink the shit out of it.
I bet I put higher proof in that legend than old Matt Brown did because I've dumped 150 and that's the first time we ran it.
Oh man.
I had a 4-gallon jug of 150 that I dumped in that 35-gallon thumper, and we come off high. It was good times, man.
Yeah, it was.
And you know, and
Then
that's
you
what it's all
broke the
about.
drain. Then you broke the drain, and it
Oh, that was
all-
before.
all
Yeah,
come
I
out.
I broke that drain off. I hit up Sean. I'm like, bro, I broke this drain off. You should have been here to help me. And luckily, you had one. It was all good, man. But you know, like, I learned a lot by myself. Learned a lot, you know, with Sean.
That's fire.
I wonder where that apple brandy came from, there, Sean.
That's a great question, my friend.
Man, I used to have a jar of apple brandy, but
Sturge had a hand in that apple brandy. I'll give him that. He fucking put some work in on that apple brandy.
y'all broke him in that day.
That's right.
I think
you're
that's where
damn
the
right.
listen,
You're
I
right.
think that might have been where the friendship that you guys have today, that might have been made that day.
I say
It was
started
made
that
long
day.
before that. So,
Yeah. That was a
oh, you're
damn
talking.
good
All
time.
right, I get you. So you're right. You're right, Daniel. He didn't. No, he didn't. Only thing he did was run a pump twice. He ran a pump twice. That was it. That's all he did. He flipped 2 switches and ran
Wait
a
a
pump.
minute. My finger said otherwise.
That's your own fault for listening to me telling you to grab the bottom of a keg that we just had flame on for an hour and a half.
Man, I showed up later that day, and these fools are talking about how they grabbed the bottom. Yeah, it was all bad.
That damn keg was fucking redder than Easy's curtains.
They're both their hands. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I had burn marks all up my arm from the worm.
Yeah.
I tell you, Sturgeon's over watching us. Like, is this how y'all get down? Like, hey, man, shit like this happens sometimes.
Hey, shit happens, man.
Hey, we you know, hey, speaking of tire fire, I did win the tire fire trophy at Farm the Bottle. I was in an apple brandy contest with Bennett, Sean. With Sean, I lost to my own liquor. I don't know how I did that. And it was half my liquor, and I still lost to it. And then a beef, and you know, Tater was a judge. I think it was that southern fucking Confederate thing against the Yankees because ain't no way I came in last. I want to revote.
You want to rejudge is what you need.
You need to do
That's
it.
right.
Go apple brandy next time.
Oh shit! But it was a good time, man. We had a great time. Bar in the Bottle was fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it up this year. Well, next year, here in a month, it'll be next year. We get to see old Matt Brown and Sean Rigsby go toe to toe in the ring. And
are they doing? Well, let me ask a question. Is it oil? Are you guys oil wrestling?
That's later on.
Mazzola.
No, that's you
Later,
and Tyler.
Oh,
You and Dylan.
You and Dylan are oil wrestling.
You guys were going to be doing some
oil wrestling and banana hammocks.
And so here's how the card's going to go. We're going to open with Dylan versus Uncle Joey.
Yeah,
and oil
Uncle
wrestling
Joey
match.
was one artificial knee, one completely trash knee. Let's go.
Yeah. So Silcott's growing his beard back, and him and Phil are going to have a battle of the beards boxing match.
Sword fight.
No, it'd be sumo wrestling. They'd never touch. It'd just be bellies bang.
Well, one of them falls, they get that rocking action.
Who's the big spoon in that one?
Phil would be the big spoon. He's too big for that. We want to watch him box, and he's way too. We got weight classes, man. We can't have him. Like I would like to see him. I tell you what, if Silcott wears a dress and Phil belly bumps him across the place, I will watch that shit.
Are they both going to have to wear their CPAP machines?
I can't confirm.
They're going to share.
I can't confirm if Silcott has one. Phil don't wear his anymore, which I don't blame him. He come out a couple times and it just looked like, and I'm like, bro, what's wrong with your face? And he had that machine on. But hey, man, if it keeps you alive, you got to do what you got to do.
I get it, bro. He was killing us in the morning at Farm to Bottle, man, with them fucking. He had story after story, man. Phil was on fire, man.
Yeah.
Phil, if you
hey.
Oh, he had me rolling.
Dylan said we can make it one round.
One round.
Look at Uncle Joey. You got it in you, brother.
And We so,
he's thinking about it.
let's get it.
Yeah.
Hey, you know who we are, Damon. So we did choose to go tonight. We were supposed to go on live Monday night, but Sean had to go drive to West Virginia to get some clothes or something.
Yeah, just listen. Who just drives to? I'm just driving to West Virginia on a Monday.
I know, and so he's like, go on without us right now, bro. And so we got rescheduled to Wednesday. Somebody said something earlier, like, you guys need to watch, and I was like, look, bro, when you're working with Sean, if you get shit accomplished within 3 days of your original time, then it's a success. You know,
Hey.
if you're on time.
I just want to throw this out there. Daniel Stevens said he will take your place, Uncle Joey. So Dylan, plan on it.
There you go.
Oh,
Who's taking the bets?
I
want to put my money down now.
I want to see it, Gordon.
Gordon, you are
I wanna
100% correct.
I'm gonna go with Mr. Bennett on that one.
Oh man.
A little closer in age. Yeah, there you go.
The one time I won't vote for Ohio.
All right. So the main event is going to be a 5-round, 5-minute match, MMA style. We're going blood sport. Let's go blood sport rules. Sean Rigsby versus Matt Brown.
This motherfucker.
For
hey, Dan, I got a phone call from Dan Gray. I said, Dan, is Wilmington going to let that happen? He said, I do whatever I want in there.
So they're going to fight for our version of the BMF belt, the bad moonshine motherfucker belt is what it's going to be.
Listen, the baddest moonshiner belt. There you go.
Thunderdome, yep. Hey. Thunderdome.
Welcome to Thunderdome, bitches.
Thunderdome, bitches.
No, Bennett. It's going to be 6 2-minute rounds, I think.
Yeah, it's sounds about right.
If somebody don't get,
you might need to knock it down to 6 30-second rounds to make you feel more like you're at home.
Shit, I don't even get past one.
That's what I mean. It ain't going past the first 30 seconds.
Unless we're talking about 6 months ago.
I'm sure we can make that happen. Hey, should have bet in Double or Nothing this year, Uncle Joey. I told you to bet Double or Nothing this year, man.
Hey, I messaged him and tried to get some points. I tried to be sneaky. He said, nah, we good.
Should have got him straight up.
I should have. Damn.
Hey, I bet he would be a ring card girl. He
might not even be a farmer bottle. I don't know.
Who's the other ring card girl? We'll find somebody.
How about Silcott and Peterman?
I bet old JJ would be a ring card girl.
Yeah, he would. Him and
hey,
Ranger
there
buddies.
It is. JJ.
With those shorts.
Hey, it's for the ladies. It'll be for the ladies. We got something for the ladies too.
Me and JJ had a good time Saturday night hanging out watching the Moonshine Bandits and shit. So hopefully y'all will make it till Saturday this year.
Yeah.
We're not promising shit.
I'm looking around like I'm the only one that made it to Saturday. Like I got there fucking Thursday and I made it all the way to Saturday. Like
man,
y'all lasted 12 hours.
Listen, next year I will not roll in with a plan to go hard in the paint because I even told you. Listen, I told Sean, I rolled in. I said, look, man, there go my keys and it's on. He said, what? I said, it's on, dude. And about 3 hours later, I was done.
Was out.
I'm here for a good time.
Fucking Bennett come found me. He's like, hey man, your buddy Uncle Joe, you need to go check on him, man. He's like, I thought he was going to drive out of here, but I looked back and his head's fucking hanging out of the car.
Man, woo!
Good thing he took his key. He knew. At least you knew. Like, hey man, I'm just sleeping over here.
Yep.
I was impressed you didn't get any on my truck.
I told the wife. I took blankets. I took pillows. I was like, I'm sleeping in the car.
He took that chair for Sean too.
And a 0 gravity chair for Sean.
And dude, not 5 feet away was a bed. Not being used. Hell, I tried to get Sean to go back to the Airbnb. Like, bro, they got extra beds, man. You ain't got to sleep here. And he was just and I'm like, all right, dude.
I was not moving. I was relaxed.
I even did him like you ever get with the old lady and like you ever have the old lady and she's super hammered and you're trying to get her to do something and she's just so blasted that she just won't. And you finally you're like, get the fuck up and do it. And then she does it, and you're like, my bad, I didn't mean it. Like, what I'm saying? Like, I feel bad I had to yell at you, but I had to fucking yell at you to get you to go to bed. Like, I'm ready to go to bed. It's time to go. You want to just sit on the couch all night. Like, motherfucker, you'll wake up with your neck hurting. And so
Let's
you're like,
go.
Get the fuck up. And you're like, and then she's like, did you yell at me? Like, no, I didn't. Come on.
Nope. Didn't yell at all.
You were dreaming.
Sometimes, yeah. Like, that's just the way it goes. So I tried that with Sean. I was like, get the fuck up, get in the truck. And he's like, and I'm like, fuck you, I'm out. There was pizza waiting on me back at the Airbnb. I knew
listen, them Reese cups, man, they hit him hard.
It wasn't just the Reese cups.
What else did you bring? I don't remember.
Honey Uncrustables. Those
That's
are
what
life.
it was. Yeah.
Life.
The cones is what got him. The cone heads rolled over, and that was it. So Knucklehead, be glad you didn't, man. It's worth more without a signature on it.
Yeah.
So we talked about some thumpers and shit. What is y'all's take on not running a thumper but rerunning everything?
I don't speak that language.
But
it sounds like double work. It's double work.
Well, if you're going to rerun, why not rerun with a thumper and you get even that much more?
Okay, your opinion don't matter.
So, Michael, listen, I'm a newbie. So, from what I've heard you guys talk about, a thumper is a second distillation. So, when you rerun it, aren't you just essentially doing a second distillation?
You're actually doing a full distillation that time.
Yeah, so your thumper doesn't provide a full distillation, but it definitely helps.
It's kind of like half.
Yeah, so give me 1.5. And
so you put it on there, you run it twice. It's like running it 3.
Yeah. But, for me, I'm like, dude, I want flavor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to pump at, like I use my thumper a lot for pumping flavor in. So I'm always going to use my thumper.
Mm-hmm.
So especially, if you're doing fruit, then I use my thumper because I'm putting flavor in. If you're running, if you're running grain, you still want some grain flavor in that. Maybe you don't want it real overly strong. And it depends on the type of grain.
And, that's what I've done before. Just cheap corn, I'll run a thumper empty. It'll strip part of the flavor out and just mellow it out.
Same thing putting water in there, too. It'll mellow it out.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's what I know. Phil made a couple of videos where he talked about, he said he's never running a thumper again with brandies because it strips flavor. But when
it comes down to it, Uncle Joey, man, it's preference. What I suggest you do is, man, you run it with it, run it without it, and run it a second time. You know what I'm saying? Like, try everything.
Right.
You never know what you're going to like.
Figure out what works for you.
Yeah, hey, Phil made some great fucking peach brandy. You tried it out off the straight arm thumper by adding. Mm-hmm. He's infusing. He's dumping shit into his mash or his second run or however he's doing it. He's dumping it into his pot instead of using an infuser.
So this jar here, that's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Probably. So, but saying that, okay. So my opinion, this is just, again, my very expertise opinion. This is your brandy that you use a thumper. Phil's brandy, no thumper. This is hot. The flavor is great, but man, the liquor is hot.
There's
the
a lot of
flavor is good on this, and it's smooth. So that would be my take. Like, this liquor is a lot hotter than what this liquor is.
Well, and that would be something that you play with. You know what I'm saying?
It can be the thumper. It can be the way your mash. And
everybody runs something different. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like everything works for somebody themselves. Like I was really surprised at the nose and the flavor that he got into it without it. You know what I'm saying? So
Man,
it's
the
like,
nose on
damn.
this is crazy.
And sometimes some people like their shine a little warmer. They know they're drinking it, and so you just got to do it yourself, man. So as a beginner, you got to do your thing and figure out what works best for you, because my palate ain't yours. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
so I recommend you do it both ways. Get you a setup. You can do it both ways.
I just know from drinking some of the brandies that I've had and talking to you guys, I know when I start my process, I'm intrigued by the brandies. I think that's going to be something that I'm going to try to fine tune myself. Maybe find one of my own. I don't know, but I really like the flavor of it, man. I like the corn liquor. I really like a corn liquor, but man, a good fruit brandy that's a good
Hard
drink.
to beat.
Man.
It's hard to beat, man.
My buddy Hooch, I was at his place in West Virginia last year, and we're drinking some of his brandy, and I'm preaching put it over ice. Sean likes it room temp. That's his deal. I'm preaching try it over ice. Let's bring the flavors out. And we started talking. He's like, yeah, every time you watch the movies back in the day, they go into their drinking room and they have a brandy. It's a gentleman's drink. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's kind of like scotch for some people. It's more refined. And it's got more flavor profile. It's got more notes.
But that's
it definitely takes a lot more work than running a grain liquor.
I've probably had way more clear brandies than I've ever had aged brandies, and I definitely like the clear brandies.
Now, I'll tell you, the best aged brandy I ever tried was Alan Bishop's apple brandy.
Apple brandy, yep.
Oh, boy. That was amazing. I wish I had a bottle of it. Hey, did you see the pink absinthe he did?
No.
You didn't see the video with the pink absinthe?
Mm-mm.
Dude, I don't know what it was. I was just like, I'll lay in bed, and while I lay sleeping, I swipe TikToks on silent or Facebook, and because I enjoy her most when she sleep. And guess who's sleeping right now?
I guess who's gonna be sleeping all day tomorrow?
You got room? I'm coming over, Sean.
She gonna knock you out.
I'm coming over. I got a bunch of peaches I need to get out of my freezer, anyways.
Fuck, that sounds like work.
Shit.
No,
take over.
No, knucklehead. They don't have to be copper. They can be wood. The one thing with wood is
will that infuse wood flavor?
I don't believe so. Maybe, but you
might be good though.
You got to swell the or the wood.
The wood.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure it's swollen before you use it. Now, would you just fill your thumper with water when you were done with it in between runs, just to keep it nice and swollen?
That's what I would do.
Yeah, because you'd be afraid you would lose it down in the wood. Yeah.
Yeah, or you'd have to go back through every time and reswell it.
Reswell it.
And like, dude, we got a 55-gallon worm in a barrel, and I had that thing at Farm to Bottle. I didn't tighten up the rings. I just put the hose in and turned it on. I'm just pouring water over that thing for hours. And somebody's like, it's overrun. I was like, it's swelling. It'll be all right. I didn't have a hammer to tighten it up. But yeah, dude, you got to keep them swollen or they will dry up quick. It's like an old canoe, man. You leave it out of the water, an old wood canoe, you leave it out of the water too long, and that thing's just going to sink till it swells.
So who in here's ran double thumpers?
Now you're talking like
I run multiple jars, but not actual thumpers.
And so old Joseph
Donald.
Wells talking about you keep your tails in your thumper, keeps it swollen. Now, do your tails pick up a little bit of that woodiness from sitting in there? And when you go to rerun them, well, my thing is, how much flavor comes through on when you use that thumper? That's my question. So yeah, we've used double thumpers, 2 cakes. 5 got 15, a 5, and then 3.5, something like that, and then 2 a worm. And it's just like running, What
I bet that's a crazy looking setup.
you just use? I use my last one for infusing. Is what I would do.
Yep.
Just to see how they run. Because you're stripping flavor with that second one, with first one. Use your last one to put flavor in, or it just increases your proof and it cleans up your alcohol. You're like running a vodka. You know what I'm saying? Now, for me, the pot does not matter. For me, the pot doesn't matter. It could be stainless, it could be copper. In my opinion, the pot doesn't matter. But I believe from the cape,
anything that steam,
yeah,
the vapor.
anything that comes to connect with the vapor, the more copper you can have, the better.
Especially right there when it separates between the 2 in my opinion. As soon as it turns into fucking vapor.
And
And,
then-
that's a real good one because that's one I'm bad for because stainless is so easy. You can buy those spools
Oh yeah, you just
so cheap.
clamp it right on and go.
I don't know why when you have a 20-gallon pot.
Because it's paste, and that some bitch is afraid to run paste.
Oh, when are you just gonna just get
He
this
ain't.
over with, man?
He ain't, because it'll kill our joke. He's not allowed.
Oh, I will. You'll
we
never
gave
know
Smelly
about it.
$20 to not let him run the paste ever.
Hey, how many times you guys ever know when I run anyways?
Listen, don't tell both of them. Call me. We'll take pictures and we'll
make sure you take a picture in the pot.
I can work
It's gonna be
Photoshop.
half full.
We can all work Photoshop. We all got Photoshop on our phone nowadays.
Yeah, no. Look how old we are. We can't do Photoshop, dude.
I can't do shit.
You're
lucky we're on this.
Not saying you can't create some quality distillate out of all stainless rigs. All stainless rigs, they make good quality alcohol. We're just all partial to copper. We've run copper, we've run stainless, and we just, in our minds, we believe that the copper gives certain types of alcohol a much better finish. Everything has its place.
It's a matter of opinion what you like.
Yep.
It seems like I tend to run more stainless, and I would rather run more copper.
Talk about a walking contradiction if I've never met one.
Oh shit.
Well, I know I've got the keg and everything off of my
money.
keg. I'm hoping it's going to be copper. That's what I would like to do. Just from hearing the top 2 up here, the more copper, the better. And that's not just the 2 of you. That's being at Farm to Bottle. That's talking to just a lot of you guys. The more copper, the better. And a lot of you guys have said that it doesn't have to be a copper pot. I've heard a lot of the shiners say you can run a stainless keg, but anything off of that, you got copper.
Yeah,
man. There's a lot of people though that don't. There's a lot of people that run kegs to stainless arms over to stainless shotguns. But 9 times out of 10, when they do that, they'll pack the copper
with copper
spools, or the stainless, with copper mesh.
And usually, you'll always see that the condenser is copper. Like you almost always, the condenser's copper. Like I don't remember the last time I saw a stainless worm.
Right.
Usually, even if they run copper or stainless all throughout, it's at the end it's copper. Like even when usually most of your stainless shotguns, they have copper pipes running down the middle of them.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's just the way it is. Even when you buy a stainless spool, stainless shotgun, it's usually got copper pipe in the middle.
Yep. Speaking of, man, I've seen people on Facebook that will, or online in general, you're gonna like this.
I already know.
They use fucking hoses for shit.
Talking about garden hoses?
Yep. And fucking washer hoses.
And then I've seen some wild shit.
Stainless steel.
And over the thumpers and shit. Yeah.
Dude, just from the beginning, like.
And then, what the fuck was I getting to? Oh, okay. And yeah, I've seen some people, they'll run a copper.
Scott.
They'll have a copper pipe or whatever come off the thumper or straight from the copper pot. And then the jacket that they have around that copper pipe is made from fucking PVC.
Dude, it works. Like, dude, you can make your jacket out of anything because your alcohol's not coming in contact with it. There was a fella a while ago on TikTok. He was making Liebigs out of everything, using old ammo cans, water in, water out,
But
copper pipe
copper
through the
off
middle.
through the middle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so
Run
like
copper, yeah.
it does not matter what your jacket is. Your jacket could be anything.
Now, I had an experience one time where a guy was trying to tell me how he run his actual lines with PEX. He tried to hand me a jar, and I'm like, I'm good. He goes, well, it's safe for water.
It's safe for
Go
water.
away. Thank you. No.
He says,
Water.
go away.
Water. Alcohol vapor, a little different.
Hot vapor, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, well, hot water runs through it. Like, yeah, your hot water, max people's hot water is 115, 120 degrees, and that's scalding. You know what I'm saying? That's how I like to shower. So, but even still, it's like, that's not boiling vapor. You know, it's not vapor.
It ain't too many times I turned down a jar of liquor, but I did that day.
And when it comes in those plastic containers.
Yeah, one of the biggest advices I can give you about running your still, Uncle Joey, is to ignore your thermometer.
I'll be honest. After talking to both of you, I've not really talked to Matt too much about running, but both of you, it's the old hand feel method, man.
Just make sure you grab on
as a reference.
Well, I'm not gonna like manhandle. I'm just gonna feel. You feel.
You gotta rub it like a booty. You can't grab it like a big wang.
Yeah, you gotta rub it like a booty, not grab it like a thigh.
Let me explain my theory on this. We put these things together and we'll buy these things off Amazon for $10-15. How accurate are they?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I bought several of them and had the enclosed tube where I could swap them out during a run. They all read different.
Oh, they will.
They were all different. It's like,
and
how do you know what they are?
Based on your humidity, time of year, barometric pressure, they always read different, man.
Pull one out, stick a different one in, and it's reading 10 degrees difference.
That's because they calibrated it.
They're never the same, Matt. They're never the same.
They're never the same.
When it goes from 90 degrees to up over 150, hey, we got steam past here. Other than that, I don't give a shit what it is. It's all off flow. What's coming out?
Yeah, the time we ran with Easy, several times he walks up and he would feel, we're getting warm. We're getting, you kind of feel. He'd put his arms around. So, and then he straight said, he's like, thermometers are good, but they're not just. Some are accurate, some aren't. You just never know.
And then right before I'm like, you guys smell that? The whole room smells like peaches. You guys smell that? Yeah, we're gonna get heads in about a minute, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then boom, there it is. It's all about your senses, all about using your senses.
Well, and not everybody is fortunate enough that wants to try. I'm sure during COVID, a lot of the home distillation took off, and everybody was kind of learning on their own. I'm fortunate enough where I have you guys to where I've been around it. The ones that are starting to never done it, you don't know, but I'm around enough to know, right? You guys are saying, well, listen, you smell that. You hear, the changing from heads to tails or whatever, the oil, the feel between your hands, the things that I've learned and picked up from you guys just watching already, I'm excited to learn even more.
Oh, yeah.
We are glad and excited to teach new people. You know what I'm saying?
Because I want to learn this because then I want to pass this on. And I want to gain the best knowledge I can. So I'm passing good knowledge on. And I know you have lots of viewers and, people that are also, hey, if you need anything, reach out. Everybody's always like, reach out. And, that's what's awesome about the community.
And that's a good thing about we're all willing to give an opinion.
Yeah.
We're all right and we're all wrong.
Mm-hmm. Well, Brian, never mind.
As a beginner, you need to play. You got to try stuff. You got to try to screw up because you're going to learn
in the process.
Be safe.
Right.
Yeah.
Use common sense.
But the good thing about it, somebody like me's coming into it. Hopefully I make less mistakes because you guys are there to be like, don't do this. Don't do that. Now I'll still fuck up. I guarantee it.
Yep. And that's how you'll learn. And
but
at no point during your journey, whether you're a beginner, a novice, a master, an expert, the motherfucking King Kong.
Big stirs.
Lose your humbleness. Never lose your humbleness, and always be willing to learn from the man beside you, because learning from being humble and accepting criticism and accepting, constructive criticism or knowledge or just how to do something better, that's what will always take you to the next level.
Right.
So like I said, it don't matter if you're just starting or you've been doing it for 25, 30 years. There's always a new dog that teach you a trick, just like I went to Versailles Winery. I talk about it all the time. I talk to that old man, Mike, dude's 80 years old. He's been making wine since he was a teenager. And he wanted to pick my brain about making moonshine in a keg. That dude's forgot more alcohol knowledge than I'll ever know in my life. But for that 10 minutes, he was a student of mine, and then it's amazing. So never forget, one more time around, what you drinking on?
Cheesecake.
I switched over to tie-dye apple pie from Tucking Reds.
I'm on like 10 different things. Like, let's see. Blue corn.
Uncle
Moonshine
Joey,
style.
Uncle Joey, what proof is that?
40. It says 70, 80.
Mm.
I'm drinking
Really?
that apple rye. What does it taste like?
It's delicious.
No, I mean, does it taste strong?
It's got a little heat to it. Yeah, I can tell I got a little drink in my hand. But it's also they do it. There's caramel or something in there, man. That's an easy drink. This is dangerous right here.
Yeah, when it's lady juice, it's dangerous. Lady juice is dangerous. Let's be
80
for real.
proof lady juice, yeah.
Yeah, dude. You could take 100 proof lady juice if it's made correctly, and that shit tastes like juicy juice. Then it doesn't matter, man. Like lady juice will get you fucked up. Like just like a wine will have you puking out the side of your car. Lady juice will get you fucked up.
What's lady juice?
That shit he just held up in his hand.
That sweet shit.
Apple pie.
The things the two ladies are drinking.
My problem with apple pie is the apple juice in it. I'm too old for that.
Oh yeah, you be pissing in your diaper all night.
Oh, I'll be shitting in my diaper all night.
Shelly don't let Matt have apple juice after 6 p.m. because when she gets up at 3 a.m. to let the dogs out, she's got to change his shitty diaper.
She don't let him have the phone past 8 p.m. neither.
Hey, she's got her rules, but she's a good cook, so I follow her rules.
She cooks, she cleans, and she makes a living. What more can you ask for? Hey, dude, she made this thing called tomato pie. And Matt's like, this motherfucker won't shut up about tomato pie. And so like, they come to my birthday party, and Matt's telling me about tomato pie, and I'm like, bro, last year she made a roast. This year, I'm like, bro, I want a tomato pie. And she shows up with tomato pie, and she was like, well, get you a piece of that? And I'll do right there. I cut it right now. Like, oh, I'm trying this right now before anybody touches it. And like, I get it, and it's cold, but it's got melted cheese on it, and it's got like onions and cream cheese, or so I don't know what the hell it's got in it, but it's got tomato. It's like eating a vegetarian style Italian sandwich, open faced. It was fucking wild, and I took the whole thing inside like nobody else getting none of this.
Dude, you need to try it with those tomatoes out of the garden.
Well,
we had to do store-bought tomatoes for your party.
Only way I could try it is hey, don't you badmouth tomato pie, Joe Bud.
Why would you want tomato pie? And where the fuck did that shit come from?
I didn't know I wanted it. But
I'm telling you guys.
You said you did. You requested it, motherfucker.
Well, because I had heard, I didn't know about it. I didn't even know I wanted it until he spoke about it. And then I'm like, well,
I'm telling you, it's the shit. It is the shit.
He spoke about it. And when he spoke about it, I'm just like, well, fuck, I want to try that.
This motherfucker, what did he drink with it? A side of Metamucil?
Nah, bro. It was like, dude, I tell you, if you had a sissy gut, you would definitely be fucked up. All the onions and shit. But dude, I'm a champ, and it was fucking amazing. And so, only time I'll ever go to a party at Matt's is if there's tomato pie. And so, hey, Joe, next time I am honored enough to have a piece of tomato pie, and no, it doesn't taste like ketchup. There's no ketchup.
Oh,
You don't
fresh
think you're that
sliced
fat
tomatoes, onions,
until I
cheese.
tell you, you come to Big Easy's birthday party and come midnight, everybody's that fucking fat. You know, everybody's drunk, they're fucking blasted. Everybody's that fat come midnight, like whatever it was. You know, hey, I had old Hoots one year. That motherfucker was shoving chicken patties in his
Chicken
pocket.
patty Chad.
Oh, he became chicken patty Chad that night about midnight. You know, we get fucked up and we have a good time.
And them chili dogs were banging this year.
Oh yeah, they were. I was getting ready to say that the chili dogs this year were.
Oh yeah, dude. Like
I saw the hot dog roller and I saw the chili. I was like, oh
yeah. My mom
shit.
makes a big pot of chili every year, and Max old lady she brought boudin dip and cornbread. And Matt brought his hot dog roller, bun steamer over. Like, dude, we went to war that night. It was a good time. But all right, so old Donald's talking about he's old school wood shiner, and he's trying to understand the different heat sources. You know, I will say this, dude: if you can run on wood, you can run on anything. So that's definitely something we
if you can run on wood.
We all want to do or have done once or twice, just because it's awesome. You will find that it's a lot easier. As far as propane goes, dude, it's just like running a propane grill as compared to a charcoal grill. As soon as you turn it on, you got heat that you can use. Whereas I imagine with your wood fire, you got to let your coals burn down. You got to shift them and move them. You ain't got to do that. You set your propane level to where you want. And now later on, as your pressure drops in your propane level, you will have to turn it up a little bit to keep it running, at a steady drip. As far as like electric, you see all these people using electric now. And dude, it's like an old Showtimer's history, bro. You just set it and forget it, and you'll get it dialed in. A lot of people they turn it all the way up at the beginning to bring it up to temp. Some people turn it up real low and let it heat up over hours and hours and hours. I ain't got no time for that shit. And then once it gets up to temp, then they turn it down. They turn it down a little. They turn it down to their drip, and they memorize. Like, all right, well, when I start, I turn it up to 20. I want my drip at 8 or 12, and because they all have LCD monitors on them that let you read them.
Newbie question time. So I'm hearing, like, when I'm learning to run, like, so I get my shit set up. So one morning I get up, hey, I want to run slow. So I'm hearing maybe get me a little timer, set a timer, see how long it takes to start getting certain things. So you make mental notes of, okay, at this time into the run, that's when I'm getting a drip, or you start to feel heat certain ways, or just pay attention to a phone, I guess. But I would probably get a timer because I'd fucking get stoned and sit down and
forget about it.
Yeah. Put a
Yeah,
timer
you
around
get
my
tied
neck
up
or
on
something.
Pornhub. We know what you'd do.
Yeah, what was you gonna say, Sean?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, so I wouldn't get set with anything. I would, like you said, if you want to take notes, that's cool, but just have it for reference, because it's
more for reference, yeah.
Because if you run, just say for shits and giggles, you ran in a garage. Well, of course,
yes.
Some months out of the year it's going to be colder and damn it, it's going to take longer. So,
or it's going to be hot out there.
Or it's going to be hot.
Degrees,
some mashes differ. So one time you may fill the fucking pot completely up, the other one you may not. So, I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into that shit, I feel like.
So what's your question, Roy? I'm not really sure. Like you said, man, it's just you'll be like, dude, I'm turning this all the way up. It's getting hot. All right, I'm turning it down.
I mean, it's definitely something like I'm excited to learn.
But,
I mean,
whereas when you're running propane, you can't turn it all the way up, or you're going to puke all that shit in your thumper, and so it's like it's totally different than when you're running electric. Like electric's only going to push so much power. You're only going to be able to get so much power out of that. You're running a keg on a 5,500 watt. Like you can have it all the way up, and when you're running, you're more than likely you're not going to puke up into that, and that's what your thumper's for. That's one good thing about running a thumper is, who told us that? Sean, some feller said, "Hey man, the thumper's point is to catch your still when it pukes. In case it does. Not saying it will, but in case it does, you'll never know. And if it does,
Yeah.
then it won't puke out your worm. So it's just like I always call the thumper a magical vessel, and I'll never run without one unless I have to. And if I am running without one, it's probably just some cheap ass support shine because motherfucker became a moonshiner again. And let's hope that never happens. I just want to stay a small batch craft distiller, but if a motherfucker got to become a moonshiner, I will. So
Don't make a motherfucker.
That's right. But I will never let people on the internet know. So, we don't do that shit. Ain't no money.
You don't.
In it anyways.
You don't. Never mind.
There ain't no money in it, man. There ain't no money in it. Like I like to do shit for fun, and when it ain't fun no more, then I don't want to do it. So
have some fun, share the wealth.
So Uncle Joey,
that it's always fun. It's not. I mean, I always hear when you guys talk about it, man. It's always something you guys enjoy doing. It's never like it's I gotta go. No, you guys are like, man, we're running this. Hey, we're running that.
Yeah, or we talk a lot about running, like what we could run, or about how to do things. Like I'm sure you've noticed, like we'll talk about running this type of still this way, or we'll talk about, even though 99.99% sure that we are never going to run that still that type of way, or even put the time. But it's nice to talk about like things that you would do to something like that, because you can adapt that to your smaller rigs. You know what I'm saying? So don't ever be afraid just to sit around and shoot the shit. Like, bro, if we had a 500-gallon still, we'd take this 100-gallon still and we'd put it as a fucking thumper. We'd run it off this. You know what I'm saying? Just talk about how you pipe things in and things like that.
Right.
It's always cool to spitball and just shoot
to run it. And
and it's one of those things like, you get really high, you should write down the things you talk about. Like, we should always write down a thing, but we never do. So we're always like, hey, man, you remember that? No.
Sean, how many text messages have you got from me? Hey, bro. And I'll be like, stoner moment. I'll be like, and I'll give you some random idea. Like, man, check this out. It just, things pop in your head that you do not want to lose.
Yeah. Been there.
So Uncle Joe, when you do plan on making it happen, what's your what kind of grain do you want to try? Not necessarily first, but just you for sure want to try it. And what kind of fruit do you want to try?
Well, you guys have hooked me on peach, and I'll be honest, banana. I've got some banana brandy of Nobles, and man, it's tasty. I'd like to maybe try to make some banana brandy. And corn, I like my taste. I like a nice sweet. I like a good sweet corn.
Well, what you could do is you could get you 2 barrels or buckets or whatever, and do one of them banana and the other one corn. And what you could do is in the corn, just leave you a bunch of headroom in the corn, but in the banana, make sure you fill it all the way up.
Right. Yeah.
And, I was thinking banana peach.
Oh, mix.
Do one of each, blend them, run it.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I never thought about it, but I grabbed that jar of Noble's brandy that I got from your party two birthdays ago, and dude, that's a nice brandy, man. That really is.
If you want to run that, I mean, that's my recipe.
Nice.
That's my recipe, and I taught he does it exactly how I do it. So I'm like, yeah, fuck it. That's just as if I'd have ran it. I mean, it's always different, but yeah, it's the method, and the only thing he did differently that we do differently now is we use an infuser. So I think I can get even more flavor into it than the old style. Yeah, it's just a certain way, and it's wild that banana, the smell on the nose on it, like that was one of the first things I handed Sean, and he was like, "Bro, I like this." And I haven't made it in a few years because peaches are so easy to come by, and peach brandy is amazing. So I'm thinking that for next year for festival season, that I'm gonna bust out the old Big Easy's banana brandy and let them add, because like there's a lot of new people in this that I've never even had try the old banana brandy, because
I might know where there's a partial jar of that.
You'd be the only one. So I just dude, that was one of the things that I really got enthralled in was banana brandy. Just
So
in the videos.
did that become from your winemaking, like making banana wine? Is that kind of? I know you.
No, it was mainly because everybody does grain. You know, like we're all hanging out at Maggie Valley or talking to these fellers, and everybody does grain. They all do some type of grain, or they do rum or tequila, and not a whole lot of people do brandy, and not a whole lot of people do brandy real well either. So we're like, so to me, it is a to me it's a challenge. And what can I do differently that nobody else does, and then how can I become really good at this? I'm in Dayton, Ohio, Donald. And these fellers ain't far from me, so we're all in Ohio.
We're all in the area.
So it's just one of those things that everybody does something, or do something different, like with flavors. Like you see a lot of people, they're using these extracts and things like that for their flavors, and they're making amazing products like that oatmeal cookie that Keith came out with, that Philbilly copied. It's fucking amazing. Philbilly came out with that butter popcorn. People love it. And
Man,
so for me, it was I want to make my flavors with fresh fruit, because you can always tell a difference when you get a jar of flavor and it's had fresh fruit put into it. And so that was one of the things I did differently, So it's like, well, how can I take this and make up the best thing I can out of, using fresh? And so it's always trying to do something different. And we're all trying to figure out something new, or a new way sometimes, and that somebody else ain't already doing. Like, because there are a lot more content creators now than what's up, Jeff? A lot more content creators now than there used to be. So there's everybody doing so many. I'm not saying it's watered down at all. It's awesome that there's that many people doing it. So it's becoming more and more difficult to, like, I don't like to repeat things that somebody else has already done.
right. So when it comes to grain, what's your guys' favorite grains to run?
I'm a blue corn. Or I'll tell you, man, if you're wanting it nice and sweet, you would like that Argentine orange.
Man, Sturge ran that Argentina orange. I didn't care for it.
Make it yours, Uncle Joey. Make it yours.
So that's something that you need to try differently.
It was very citrusy. It was different, man. Is there a lot of oil?
If you convert that grain, then it changes it completely. You know what I'm saying? If you're using the amylase and you're converting your gelatizer, you're converting the starches in that grain, it's going to change that flavor tremendously. So give it a second shot.
Okay. So you have to run that like say crack corn. You guys talking about running crack corn? If I'm running crack corn and Argentina orange, I'm running them different. There's different ways to set that mash up.
Well, see, when it comes to cheap corn, we run cheap corn and we call it support shine.
Right.
We're not taking the time to convert any of the starches. We're just using the corn for flavor.
Yeah.
So we're using
a corn flavored sugar shine.
Corn and sugar.
What it is. You know what I'm saying? Now, when we're converting the grain, we're taking the time to gelatize those starches and get them to the point to where we can convert them to sugars. So now the yeast is eating off sugars that have been made by the grain, and not sugars that you bought at Walmart and dumped in.
Yeah. So you're not adding any sugar in at that point.
Yes. It'll taste more like the grain.
Yes. It'll be smoother. It won't be so hot. I attribute it to honey. Honey is the greatest sweetener sugar in the history of mankind. It is the most natural. It's the most complex. It's the most amazing sugar there is. And what's better than nature made as opposed to man made? Like the sugar you buy isn't like sugar that you would go get off a stalk and juice down yourself. It's not the same. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of man in it.
And I bought some honey the other day when I was with Sean. It's like some Jamaican mushroom honey. It's got like a spicy flavor to it.
Honey it's just like aging whiskey. No matter what part of the country that it's made from, the flowers, the climate, it's going to taste different.
Yeah.
It's just like the honey that comes out of Texas.
Yeah.
It's damn near red. It's damn near red. And you get up here to where we're at, and it's golden, it's amber. there's a place down in North Carolina where their bees make purple honey,
Mm-hmm.
and when it's all about what they're feeding on. Like they have a THC infused honey made by bees, and it comes out of the hive like that because the bees are getting pollen from
Pot
marijuana
plants. Yeah.
So,
So so can honey be used instead of sugar? I'm just
you can.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
okay.
But
Honey's just way more expensive.
Yep. But if you need a good deal on honey, let me know.
Yep.
Well, I
Six.
mean, somebody like me, I'm running a keg still. That's more small batch, so
Yeah.
maybe I could afford to run a smaller. All right, cool. I'm just my brain. I like to cook, so I'm kind of like looking at distilling liquor like I do with cooking. I've got there's shit I want to try. There's ideas. There's things I'm intrigued by. So it's going to be a cool adventure, I think, for me.
That's all part of being a beginner, man. You
Yep.
you just get into it and then you want to do it all.
Yeah.
And Gordon, yes, we do like 6-row, because essentially it's the same thing, right? But it's got 6 rows and 2 rows, so you're going to get better conversion out of the one or the other.
Yep. So your 6-row has more diastatic powder than your 2-row. It's got more of the enzymes in it to convert over. So you see the 6-row used a lot more in distillation because we're going for full mass conversions, and usually the 2-row is reserved more for beer making because it's less about converting, and more about flavor.
2-row is just so much easier to get a hold of.
And 2-row is easy to get a hold of. Like farmers grow 2-row. If you want 6-row, you got to go to the brew store and you got to pay a pretty penny for it.
Yeah.
But it's worth it if you're using it for mass conversion. If you're using amylase to convert, get you 2-row because it's just flavor.
Yep. And nowadays, man, I'm almost positive that most of these big distilleries, they'll use the enzymes anyway, exogenous or whatever you call it, enzymes, the liquid,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll just still throw the barley and shit in there for flavor.
Yeah.
And so the 2-row is,
Yep,
it's easier to come by. Like, how you can go down the road and get a bag of 2-row from the farmer for like $15. That same bag of 6-row is going to cost you 30, 35, whatever it is now.
mm-hmm.
And it's just because one's more. I would imagine it's probably a little harder to grow. I don't know the ins and outs of it. That would be get Vaughn on here because he don't have 6-row. He has 2-row.
There's another episode.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, I'm a banana brandy feller, Jeff. Would you ask Hooch about it? Hell, he might have some. And that's what really enthralled me into brandy was.
I have
bananas.
a question. I got another question. So me being a small keg runner, I live in an area where my city water ain't so bad, but I could probably afford to buy spring water.
I use it out of the hose, man. It'd be all right.
All right.
It's a lot cheaper that way.
No, I'm just spring water.
No, I mean for real.
The only problem with that city water up there where you're at is them idiots that work there.
It's probably Sean. Fucking asshole.
No, I've heard let it sit in a barrel for 24 hours and it burns off something.
You could do that. I mean, if you got water like Matt's, then you got to do that.
Oh yeah, mine's horrible, dude. I can fill up a barrel out of my hose and it'll be crystal clear. Now, you come out the next day and it looks like mud.
He's like, bro, what? I'm like, dude, what the hell is wrong with that? And then what? You let it sit for a few days and it just clears right up. Everything drops.
And then rack it like you do wine. But it's good. Hard water. It actually works well.
Dude, I come right out of the hose. Now, if I'm doing like for you for small batch, if I'm going to spend the money on high-end fruit, then maybe you go on ahead and get you some spring water. Or y'all ain't far from Kaiser Lake, man. Run out to Kaiser and get you some artesian well water for free.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Hell yeah.
If you want to know where that's at, just holler at me. Hell, I'm only 5 minutes from the lake.
Yeah, running a keg still, that might not be a bad deal, man. Get me some buckets.
Mm-hmm. I can show you exactly where it comes out.
Or dude, I come right out of the hose. I turn the hose on.
There's several of them up there.
Well, I've heard people say something about if you're running tap water to let it sit in a barrel to burn what off? The fluoride? Is that what it burns off?
And you ain't burning off that fluoride, man.
You mean chlorine?
Chlorine.
Chlorine? Is that what you're thinking?
Maybe that's what it is.
Probably wouldn't hurt to throw an aquarium pump in there and just circulate it.
And
Yeah.
the only way to get rid of the fluoride is through reverse osmosis. And I believe that they've made it to where they're not putting it in the water in some cities anymore.
I did see that. Yeah.
So our I guess our penile glands will stop crystallizing and we'll be smarter. But that's that's off topic.
But I
Damn.
mean, and another thing, I mean, that's what we tell people to do. Fuck, it's free. Try it, see what happens. Do it in a
Yeah.
small batch. If it don't fucking work off, or it tastes like shit, well, now
That
you
peach
know.
brandy you're drinking come out of the hose water. Like, it's all good, man. Like I think not people put too much into it, and at the end of the day, it don't matter, man. Do what you got to do.
Well, here's the way. I mean, I would think you're boiling that water anyway.
Now, if I'm making a wine, then hell yeah, I'm going and spending the money for good water because I'm not distilling it. Like if I'm making like if I'm making a blackberry wine, I'm going to go buy spring water because I want spring water.
Okay.
I want those minerals because everything's sealed. We don't care. If I'm just making a liquor, I'm going to distill it. I'm open air fermenting anyways, letting filth get in it. I don't give a shit. I'm distilling it.
That's what I'm
I'm
saying. You're
infusing
distilling
flavor.
the water anyway. That's what that would be my thinking. You're distilling it anyway.
At the end of the day, like it would take a very, very special palate to notice, like, oh, this is made with fucking. This come from Sean's fucking toilet at the sanitary plant.
So
as opposed to this came out of Limestone Spring in the hills of Tennessee. Like,
need to go buy like 5 cases of Fiji water and dump it in my mash. Right.
Yeah, you would never know the difference between that.
Right.
No.
And,
Yeah.
But like I said, if you're doing something, if you're doing a wine, then yes, you don't want that shit in there. You're going to buy the spring
I've
water.
heard different people talk about this. Oh, you only want to use spring water, or you can use city water. What was your guys' opinion on it? Does it,
It'd be all right.
That's what I figured.
It'd be all right,
Well,
man.
I'll give you my personal opinion. My palate ain't that sophisticated.
Right.
I can't tell a difference. There's probably people out there that can. I can't. So I've used good water. I've used shitty water, and it all comes out shitty.
Ain't that the truth?
As long as you always get a lot of it, that's all that matters, I guess.
That's right. Hey, don't matter how shitty it is, somebody will buy it if you put enough sugar in it.
$40 a quart.
That's a low blow, Uncle Joey.
Or donate it.
All right, we've had everybody on here for an hour and a half. That's been long enough.
Enough low blows.
Matt needs to go to bed.
Uncle Joey's getting ripped. I'm off for the next 2 days.
Uncle Joey's ready to party.
Yeah, who's up? Let's go.
Sean's over there swiping on Grindr or something. I don't fucking know.
He's getting hate text from Sturge.
It's all love, man.
Nothing but love.
I saw Sean. He commented. And he was like, "Bro, it's just we're just fucking with each other. It's a good time. This ain't no different." Hey, remember we used to fuck like back in the early. We used to fuck with Untaxed podcast.
What happened to? Never mind.
That's a story for another day. Like it's what we do. Like we bust balls, we talk shit to each other, and you have to have thick skin. And if something bothers you, oh boy, you open up the floodgates. If we know it bothers you, like so, a few weeks ago we was messing with Matt about hauling something in a trailer, and he was going through some shit at work, and so we're like, oh damn. He's upset about the trailer, so we were just beating him up hard about this trailer. Like just, oh man, it was merciless. And I'm like, we broke him, Sean. We broke him. We finally broke him. And
and I'm at work ready to shank a contractor.
Yeah, so he sits down and he's looking at these messages while he's upset with the people at work. And he's like, these motherfuckers, like. They just beat me up over this, man. For no reason. Just for like a week. We're just beating him up.
A week. Solid week.
And, and at the end of the day.
It had to be 2 weeks. It felt like 2 to 3 weeks to my ass.
I'll make it 4 then. Fuck it. We got another one coming.
Don't worry, it's coming back. And then like something happened and everything changes. And he's finally ready to get the trailer. And we're like, Nah, man, the deal changed. We're doing something else. It's all good. Appreciate you.
Dicks.
We ain't said nothing about it since. That's
It
just the
just
way. Like,
poof.
yeah, that's just the way. And so we
It all
just go
just
back
went
to
away.
fucking way about something
Dicks.
else. So. Here it is. Anyone got a trailer?
Anybody got a trailer?
Yeah.
I gotta
Well,
get a bigger one.
I know
That's what
Sean
you
gave
said.
me another piece to my puzzle the other day, and I'm hoping over the next couple of weeks I'm going to be able to make some progress. And I hope to maybe have all you boys over here, and we'll do some things.
Well, before you know, you made more than me.
It don't take much.
No, from what I hear, it don't take much.
No.
Sean's retired.
Sitting down, looking pretty, man.
Well,
know.
you know, there's guys
I don't know
out there
about
just
looking
pumping it
pretty.
out, man.
All right, y'all. It's been a good night. We've been here long enough, and I'm
Yeah,
sure
we
finish
talked
what
enough
Easy
liquor for
started,
tonight,
so-
man. I hope we hopefully help. You know, anybody? You got any questions? You
Don't
need
ask
support?
me.
Hit us up, man.
Before we go, I do want
oh
to
boy.
say every once in a while we need to do more episodes like this. Just interact, answer questions. I enjoyed this. Thanks, guys.
Well, I'm glad you could
and I
be
mean
on here with us
everybody in the
tonight.
comment section. Thank you.
Oh, not me. Sorry.
Yeah, screw you.
Man. Yeah, man. I tell you, it was nice to sit and actually talk about, talk liquor. We talked
Yeah.
some liquor tonight, which was really nice. Talked about different conversions and thumpers, and takes me back to our first episodes before we had guests on, and we would just sit and shoot the shit and talk liquor. You know what I'm saying? So it's always nice to pass on things you learned, and just learning that about the high temp amylase. It's like, dude, because I'm not big on grain, so I don't do a whole lot of grain, and it was just it was good. It was good information, and then it just once you start on something else, it just opens up a box. Especially when you're talking with shiners, it opens up a box to everything else. Hey, I'm down, Jeff. Shoot me a message, brother.
Yeah.
Love banana brandy, man. So I will have banana brandy next year, one way or another, and I'm gonna make Sean make it. So y'all have a good night.
Yeah.
We love all y'all. Take care. We gonna be back Monday. Is it Monday, Sean?
Yeah.
You got a guest?
Dan Gray?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just
Hold
lied.
on.
All right.
Hold on.
What?
No. Next week, I think it's going to be Wednesday, and I think it is going to be Dan Gray.
All right, cool.
All right.
That's a good one. I love you, Bennett. That's a good one. Oh, this motherfucker. Fuck you, man.
Well,
I've had your Jimmy Red. I got questions.
Fire.
I got questions.
That's definitely the grain.
I got questions about Jimmy Red there, Bennett. Love you, buddy. Y'all take care, man.
Bye.
Y'all shine on.